Hello everyone and welcome back to Ironhome, a solo actual play where I, Sophia, play Starforged Ironsworn in a variety of different settings. Today we return to Stardew Valley, episode 2. Let's go see what's happening. Last session. Oh yeah, sorry for the disappearance over these last weeks, but stuff happened and I'm having difficulty recording without the kids at home, so you may hear some screams in the background. Just ignore them. So, let's go over what happened last session. We cleared out the farm and planted our seeds. We tried to go to the bar and ended up meeting our nemesis, Vendry. We met the shopkeeper and learned that Vendry had hired a legal team, so I decided to add a Vendry's legal crackdown clock. Our tool broke and we had to go to the blacksmith to fix it. And when we went to bed at the end of the day, the small forest spirits appeared and chased away some crows, and it was a sort of beautiful scene there. And we were excited about going to the mountains to explore, which the blacksmith told us about. Merrick told us about the mountains and the abandoned caves and all that kind of stuff. So, the plan is to finish our Scarecrow, and then while we wait for the harvest, we will travel to the mountains and return with some minerals and stuff for Merrick. So, let's go ahead and start the session. So, to begin a session, we will review or recap what happened. We already did. Set the scene by envisioning your character's current situation and intent. Alright, we're about to do that. And this spotlight a new danger opportunity, this we're going to do at the end of the session because I love how it looks at the end of the session. Right. So, let's set the scene by envisioning your character's current situation and event. I imagine Astrid. She walks out early morning, the sun just rising over the horizon, the birds chirping, the farm on the south across the road. You can hear the roosters crowing in the morning. She walks out down the stairs of her cabin, and she goes to her little patch of farm where she's planted. I can't remember what we planted. Oh, it's been so long. But we planted something. I'll have to rewatch the episode. I'm pretty sure it was turnips, because Stardew Valley, you always start with turnips. So I'm pretty sure it was turnips. And I'm pretty sure you, again, I think that's what you start with in Stardew Valley. So she approaches the little patch and she feels something. She's not quite sure what she feels. You know, that sensation, that familiar chill down her spine. And then she kneels down and she picks up a small feather of a crow. And that's when she remembers that she needs to craft this scarecrow that we were talking about. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started with that. So, how do we make a scarecrow? How do we make a scarecrow? I'm gonna say first we have to secure an advantage by gathering materials, and then we'll just make a face danger to craft it. So I think that makes sense. We'll do it like very simple, just 2 moves and get along with it. So we are going to be using most likely wits, expertise, focus, or observation. Let's see if we can put a different song. Something more. Yeah, why not? So we walk out into the farm to gather some weeds, some sticks, and all the kinds of materials that we need to craft ourselves a little scarecrow. Now, this could be a resupply, but I think in this case it makes more sense to just run it as a secure advantage, because obviously we've got supply, but not of that kind. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and roll. We're gonna roll with wits. Do we have any assets that helps us in this case? Forager. Hey, look at that. When you secure an advantage or gather information using your knowledge of nature, add +1 and take +1 momentum on a hit. On a strong hit which match, you also replace... Yeah. I don't know if we're using our knowledge of nature in this particular case. Seems a bit, Yeah, I'm not gonna use that one. Or just gathering sticks and cutting weed and stuff. Let's go ahead and just roll wits in that one. And let's see what happens. And, oof. That's a miss. But we can burn momentum to turn it into a strong hit. And I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to burn the momentum. And it says, take +2 momentum. So we're going to go up to 4. And add +1 on your next move. All right. So, without any issue, we're able to gather up all the weeds and all the sticks as we're walking along the part of the farm that still hasn't been cleared. Lots of trees, lots of little rocks here and there, tree trunks, butterflies fluttering by, the sounds of the birds singing as we're collecting the sticks. And every now and then they flutter away as we scare them. Every now and then, just out of the corner of our eye, we think we can see something, but we don't. We get the sensation that someone or something is watching us. But Astrid just shakes it off and moves back to the farm, to her workstation, where she will put together this Scarecrow, and we're going to do just that. We are going to face danger, and in this one we are going to add +1. So we're going to roll wits with a +1, and we are going to make that Scarecrow, and that is, oh nice, that's a strong hit. We take 2 momentum, 1 for the result of the move and 1 because of our asset, and it is a very nicely well done Scarecrow. I have never made a real life Scarecrow, so I'm gonna say that Astrid whistles while she works, and she gets out a marker and draws a little face on it. And let's give our Scarecrow a name. Why not? Astrid thinks, what am I gonna call you? And Jorun. Why not? I like that. So we're gonna put a little name here. We're gonna write Scarecrow name. Jorun. She looks at it for a while. She says, you look like a Jorun. And then she picks it up and she plants it, hammers it down, maybe, if that's a thing you do. Tuck, 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 so it sticks in the ground and doesn't go anywhere with the wind or gets knocked down or anything. And that will definitely be progress on our quest to produce our first successful harvest. And that's it. I don't think we're going to do anything more with that quest. It says build a fence to keep stray animals out of the crops. That's definitely something else we could do. But I think for now, I'm going to leave it here. And we're going to head out on a different quest. We're going to head up to the mountains. Oh yeah, I forgot. This isn't in the beginner session move, but it is in the tension clock section of the rules, where if you have a tension clock, like the one we have here, basically what you do is at the beginning of the session, you can either determine if the clock advances or randomly roll for it, depending on... So I'm going to randomly roll for it. I'm going to ask a question, ask the Oracle. And... Oh, I wonder what happens if I click here. Oh, there we go. So I'm going to say it's a 50-50 chance that Venri's legal team advances on their crackdown. Is that a thing? I don't know. That's the word I'm using. Someone please in the comments clarify if anything I say is wrong or whatever. So 50-50 chance. If the answer is yes, we will advance the clock 1. The legal team is making progress to take my farm away from me. And as that clock advances, we're eventually going to have to undertake a quest to stop them, to do something about it before they take the farm away from me, because I doubt we're going to restore Grandpa's farm before this clock fills up. So let's go and say 50-50. And the answer is a yes. Yes, they have indeed advanced some. And we could ask the Oracle how. I mean, we don't have to, but we'll just do it quickly. A quick depart fellowship. Depart fellowship. Interesting, interesting. All right, I think they're going for the angle that my grandfather, who was like a strong part of the community and everything and whatnot, and that was like the value or something, blah blah blah. But since I'm new here and I don't have a strong connection with the community and blah blah blah, something along those lines. If that's even a legal leg to stand on, I don't know, but let's just go with that for now. And let's go ahead and change the music again to something else. And we're gonna go once again. Satisfied with our little patch of farm and everything, we're going to prepare for a journey into the mountains. We're gonna get a backpack. We're gonna equip ourselves. We're gonna grab a sorry. As I was saying, we're gonna grab a walking stick and we're gonna head into the mountains. But before that, we are going to head to our grandpa's grave to swear the quest. So this vow would be to... What would this vow be? We're going to delve into an abandoned mine and retrieve precious minerals. So that's what the quest is going to be, and we're going to make it troublesome or dangerous. Let's call it dangerous. Why not? Yes, let's call it dangerous. And then, so we go up to... Let's put the... We go up to Grandpa's grave and we say... Hey, Grandpa. Well, just like to keep you posted. I finished up clearing the farm. I planted my first batch of turnips, just like you taught me. First till the ground, then put the seeds, wet the ground. I didn't put fertilizer this time, but I promise next time I will. And I just made a Scarecrow, also, like the ones you taught me to make, like the ones we used to make together. And Astrid has like a memory of her, you know, with her grandpa putting together one of these Scarecrows. She says, I'm gonna wait now to see if to see them grow. I'll water them every day, and I promise I'll take care of your farm, and I will return it to its proper glory. I'm gonna head to the mountains now. Merrick says that there are some old abandoned mines up in the mountains where there's precious stones and minerals and all other kinds of interesting things that could be found, and he promised me that he could, you know, work with that and do any kind of stuff with that. So please watch over me. And then she leaves a few flowers at the grave. And now we are going to make the swear a vow move. Swear an iron vow. And we are going to... Ah, this is where we get into troubles because... Actually, make a connection. Wait. Develop your relationship. Swearing a vow to undertake a perilous quest in their service, plus if we swear this vow to a connection. Interesting. So technically, we don't swear vows. It's because of the setting of this game. We're not swearing a vow to Merrick, but this is kind of in service to him. So we're going to bend the rules a little bit. So I am going to add the +1. And since I am swearing a vow to undertake a perilous quest in their service, I will develop the relationship with him. So I'm going to advance that. And then I'm going to add the +1 here. And we don't have any assets that help with this. No. Oh, I forgot. Bandit was there. Barking and wagging his tail and keeping me company. Okay, so let's see what happens. That is, woof, a weak hit. So you are determined and begin your quests with more questions and answers. Take +1 momentum, which makes sense because we really don't know where in the mountains we're going. We're just headed north into the mountains and trying to find something. We're just gonna stumble our way through them, hoping to find something. And yeah, she stands up from the grave, walks up back to Bandit, who has been sitting very quietly waiting for her, and she scratches his head. Bandit wags his tail, and then we go together up into the mountains. So let's go ahead and change the music back to peaceful. Wait, let's go ahead and play Across the Hinterlands. There we go. And we're going to add a journey. Journey to the abandoned mine. It's going to be troublesome. Or is it going to be dangerous? One of my biggest irks with the troublesome journeys is that you get a weak hit and then you get nothing. You get nothing. Good day. So I'm always tempted to go dangerous because that at least assures me that I'll get at least one tick. The gamer in me is like, at least one tick. I want to get at least one tick. So let's go with dangerous. What's the worst that can happen, you know? We'll just make it a very, very long journey. So I think we have some notes here about the places. And we said the mountain to the north, lost abandoned mines, the Adventurers Guild is somewhere there. And there are dangerous animals loose in the wild. So let's go ahead and just do that. Let's go ahead and undertake an expedition with Bandit. So, when you trailblaze a route through perilous, hazardous terrain, blah, 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 are we staying vigilant? Most likely. We're probably not moving at speed, and we're not keeping under the radar. So we are most likely just staying vigilant. We don't have any asset that helps us. So, here we go. Into the mountains we go. And nice! That's a strong hit with a match! Excellent start. So on a strong hit, you reach a waypoint, envision the location, and mark progress as per the rank of the expedition. So let's see what we encounter. First, let's envision the location. Let's go with a descriptor and focus. Makeshift signal. Makeshift signal. All right, I have an idea. We're walking through the mountains when we suddenly see a small, thin line of smoke rising up in the sky. And we're like, well, that's interesting. And we make our way towards this, like I said, the smoke line. And we find someone there. And I think I know who we find. We find someone from the Adventurers Guild. This is going to be excellent. So let's see who we find. Let's see. Their first look is scarred. Makes perfect sense from someone from the Adventurers Guild. Their disposition is unfriendly. I love it. We know they're Adventurers Guild, so we don't need the roll, but let's see. Smuggler, no, not interested. Their goal is to collect a debt. Interesting. They're hunting a specific monster. They're after a very specific monster, and their revealed aspect is cautious, which makes sense. So let's go ahead and write this down. We've got a new NPC. We need a name. Give a name. Lucas. All right. Let's go with Lucas. So let's quickly write all of this down. Lucas is adventurer from the guild. He is scarred, unfriendly, cautious, and is hunting a specific beast or monster. Save entry. Is there anything else? Oh, we need a surname. Family name for Lucas is Murad. Lucas Murad. That's how it's pronounced. All right, so we're walking up. No, through the leaves. Let's put some suspense music. Why not? Well, that one might be a bit much. Yes, let's check the other world. I think that one's fine. All right, so we're so we're going through leaves, and then no, this is too much. This is I'm sorry. I have an issue where the music must be music. Let's just keep peaceful. Let's just stay with Mountain Village. Let's go with that one. So we're going in through the bushes, as I've said for the third time now, and we come across Lucas, who is, let's go for another first look. Large. That's exactly what I was going to say. Let's write here. Large. A large, scarred, unfriendly, cautious man. As soon as we're coming out, he stands up from the fire, picking up this broadsword that he has, pointing it at us, and says, "Who goes there?" And actually, that sounds a bit maybe too fantasy. So, "Who's there?" sounds maybe more reasonable. And Astrid, holding her walking stick in one hand, lifts up one hand in a sign of peace. Bandit is ruff, 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 barking. Just easy boy. It's like, my name's Astrid. I saw your fire. I don't mean harm or anything. Lucas, looking at us through slits in his eyes, and he says, "What are you doing in the mountains? Are you from the village?" What's the name of the village? The town? We had a name for the town, and I've already forgotten it. Winterhome. Are you from Winterhome? I've never seen you there. And Astrid says, "Oh, I'm new. I'm Nassar's granddaughter," she says. And with that, Lucas kind of sheathes his sword away and offers Astrid a place by the campfire to sit down. Lucas asks her, "What are you doing up here in the mountains? It's dangerous. There are beasts and monsters." And Astrid says, "Well, I had nothing to do while I was waiting for my crops to grow, and Merrick had mentioned that there were some abandoned mines up in the mountains that might be worth looking at. I thought it interesting to come out to explore. I wasn't aware it was as dangerous as you make it seem." And Lucas kind of shakes his head a little bit and he says, the people of Winterhome forget that they live a peaceful life thanks to the Adventurers Guild. We keep the beasts and monsters at bay. And he says, your walking stick is an ill fit for the creatures out here. And he unfurls a backpack and he takes out an extra sword that he has. Here, take this. And he tosses it at us and we kind of grab this small sword, kind of sheath, pull it out. It's a little bit old. And Lucas says, it might not be the sharpest blade, but it can protect you better than that walking stick. When you get back to town, you can ask Merrick to sharpen it for you. And Astrid is like, thank you. I've never, I've never used a sword in my life before. Lucas says, it's easy. You'll get the hang of it. If you want, I can give you a few pointers. And Astrid is like, yes, that would be very helpful. And let's go ahead and add a little note here somewhere that we have a short sword as well. And what are you doing out here, Lucas? And what is Lucas doing out here? First thing I was thinking is, well, he's hunting this beast, or otherwise looking for someone. Let's go with that he's hunting this beast, you know. I'm hunting a dangerous beast that prowls these mountains. Should it grow any larger, it might become a danger to the town. Astrid nods, thinking about exactly where she is putting herself in, what kind of situation she just went headfirst in without knowing anything. And I think this might be a good moment to make a connection. Or not, maybe not just yet. Or why not? I mean, we're spending a little bit of time talking. I imagine Lucas maybe says, because we spent a good part of the morning at the farm and the afternoon over there, so it's probably getting dark, and Lucas says, it's getting dark. Why don't you spend the night at my small camp here? We can head out in the morning. And Astrid definitely accepts. With Lucas's guidance and help, she kind of like helps prepare the camp. Lucas guides her and gives her advice and tips. And then while they wait for the food to cook, they do a few... Lucas teaches her how to hold the sword, how to strike, how to stab. And there's a little bit of training going on there. I like that. So I think at this point, we can probably make a connection. And we're going to roll with heart. No bonuses. I hope this works. And that is a weak hit. So you create a connection, but it comes with a complication or cost. Envision what they reveal or demand. Interesting. Okay, so we're going to add our connection here. Lucas. God. And then we're going to say that Lucas is probably a formidable. Yeah. That's how his important his role in this is. So, a complication. Interesting. Or cost. Envision what they reveal or demand. Interesting. Let's think about this. So I imagine in the morning of the next day, Astrid asks, I like that. So Astrid asks Lucas if maybe they'd be willing to, if he'd be willing to travel together with her in the mountains, you know, while he seeks the beast and she seeks the abandoned mines. And I think Lucas will say something along the lines of, I'll accompany you, kid, he says, because I imagine Lucas as a mountain man, you know, shaggy hair, big beard, large, scarred, muscular, all of that. And he says, but you have to make me a promise, he says. I see fire in you. I see potential. I think you would make an excellent member of the Adventurers Guild. I'll keep you company on your journey, but you must promise that you will attempt to become a member of the Adventurers Guild. And so, Astrid looks at Lucas. She looks down at her small, short sword. And she says, all right. I swear. And Lucas smiles. So, we are going to have to make another vow. And we're going to say here, become member of the Adventurers Guild. We're going to call this one another dangerous quest. Oh, wow. All right. So let's go ahead and pick up the camp and continue in our journey towards the abandoned mine. But now we've got company. We've got Lucas with us. Oh, this is awesome. I love this. And let's go ahead and I love how this went from calm farming game to like monsters and beasts in the mountains. It's the iron thorn in me. It strives towards that. But no, we're going to get back to the calm farm. Don't worry. This is just an interim break. We will get back to the farm. Yeah. So let's go ahead and undertake an expedition. And I'm going to add a +1 here because Lucas is with us. Lucas is accompanying us on this journey. So that is going to give us a +1 and +1 momentum on a hit. So we're going to roll with wits as we journey forward. And that is... oof. That is a miss. You are waylaid by a crisis or arrive at a waypoint to confront an immediate hardship or threat. Do not mark progress and pay the price. Or we can burn momentum for a weak hit. Oof, I don't think I want to burn momentum for a weak hit, but let's go ahead and do it because we have a... Let's go ahead and do it. Let's burn the momentum for a weak hit. We gain to +3, and it says, as above, but this progress costs you. So we mark progress on the expedition, and now we have to either suffer costs en route, make a suffer move -2 or 2 suffer moves -1, or face a peril at the waypoint. Envision what you encounter. All right, so let's roll some oracles and see what we can come up with. Character creation oracles? Oh, these must be new. I hadn't seen these before. Awesome. Or maybe they've always been there and I've just never looked at them. Let's go ahead and roll for a place. Trapped confinement. Wow, that's a combination. Trapped confinement. An action and theme. Swear prophecy. Wow. Trapped confinement. All right, so I have a good idea of what happens. So we're journeying together, and at one point, Lucas says, "All right, you keep heading, you keep following." Like, let's go ahead and change the soundtrack again. Oh, I love that one. So Lucas tells us to keep going straight, follow the setting sun, that he will deviate a little bit to hunt us some lunch, some dinner, and then he will catch up with us. And the last thing he says is, keep your eyes open, kid. And he heads off into the forest. And as that happens, we continue making our way through the forest. And with Bandit our side, let's never forget. I have that problem of I keep forgetting that the companions exist. When all of a sudden, we step, like, Bandit stops and barks and then tugs at our leg. And Astrid is like, what is it? What is it, boys? Is there something out there? And she looks and she sees nothing, hears nothing. Hey, it's okay, boy. Let's go. And she kind of like struggles a little bit to let Bandit go of her leg. And she does a few steps forward when suddenly the ground falls underneath her. And yeah, that happens. And she falls into a trap of sorts. Now, let's see. Is this just a pit? Or is this a spike trap? Like a very deadly kind of trap? Now, I'm gonna say maybe it's a hunting trap of sorts. So I don't think spikes is in order. But, I mean, they could be there. So let's just go ahead and say it's unlikely. So, yes, there are spikes in it. Okay, no, there are no spikes. It is just a pit. And we fall into it, and I'm gonna say we actually let's make a move. Let's make this action-y. Let's put some action music and action this up, as they say. This one? Alright, let's go with that one. So, we're gonna make a move here. Face danger. As the ground falls underneath our feet, we're going to try to quickly grab onto the ledge with one of our hands to see if we avoid falling in. So let's go ahead and make an edge move. That is a miss. We fall and we pay the price. Let's just roll on the pay the price table to see what happens. Friend, companion, or ally. Okay. You are put in harm's way. So I'm going to say that we take 2 harm as we fall into this sort of deep pit in the ground. And, oh, let's go ahead and endure some harm as that happens. Our dog is barking up from the top of the hole. So we basically fall down and we injure ourselves a bit. You know, we're falling down on our knees and on our hands, maybe on our side. We yell out in pain, and we're gonna do an endure harm. So when you face injury, 2 for serious harm. Yeah, it's serious harm. And then we are going to roll health or iron. Health is higher, and it says, when you endure harm and score a miss, you may re-roll your action die if its value is less than the dog's health. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead. No bonus. And re-roll. And we're going to roll. And that is, woof, a strong hit. Choose one. Shake it off. Take +1 health or embrace the pain. I'm going to shake it off. Bandit is at the top, barking, ruff, 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 really loud. You know, and I'm getting up and I'm like, I'm like, it's okay. It's okay, boy. Don't worry about it. I'm fine. I'm fine. And let's go put some suspense music, maybe. And let's go with that for just a little bit. And we're stuck in this pit. We're looking at it. We're touching the sides. It's very much going to be pretty hard to get out of here. So, I don't think we have any kind of equipment that would help us getting out of this hole. Any kind of rope or stuff or things. Let's think about this. The only thing I can think of is let's see, how can we handle this? I think we're just gonna have to ask Bandit to go get help. This seems like the only logical option in this situation. So we're going to roll with heart command. So we're going to roll heart. And I'm going to say, Bandit, boy, listen to me. Go find Lucas. Go find Lucas. Find help, Bandit, okay? Find Lucas. Bring him here. And hopefully our dog will understand us. And that is a strong hit. Excellent. Take +1 momentum. Bandit barks a few times and then boom, turns around and goes running out. And probably chasing after Lucas's trail. In the meanwhile, we're kind of stuck in this hole. And I'm going to say, let's just gather information. I mean, is this hole man-made? Is it a creature? Is there anything interesting here in this hole? Let's see. Let's ask the Oracle. Is there anything interesting here in this hole? Let's see. Descriptor, focus. Valuable mechanism. Okay. I mean, there's nothing stopping us. Like we already had. Sorry, we already had an unnatural salvage artifact, and now we've got valuable mechanism. So there's nothing stopping us from adding sci-fi stuff to Stardew Valley. That could always be fun. Do we want to go down that route? Maybe I'll think about it in the... Maybe I'll think about it later. But let's... Valuable mechanism. Valuable mechanism. There could be something dug here in the ground. Could this be a gather information? Yeah, let's go ahead and... Maybe we take out something and we start digging out. Let's go ahead and see what happens. Oh, this music is perfect. We see some kind of thing sticking out in the hole. Oh, I know what happens. Astrid is lying down on the floor waiting for Bandit to get back with Lucas. And she's using her leg to just push back and forth. She bends her leg back and then she sort of slides it down, bends her leg back, slides it down, bends her leg back, sort of like digging a hole with her heel. When all of a sudden, pop, it hits something strange. Something strange made out of like hard metal, like a little tip of something, like sort of a handle, maybe. Maybe it's another part of the artifact that we found on the farm. When put together, will do something. I don't know. Maybe it's some historical stuff. So let's go ahead and gather information. So, is this about nature? Probably not. Most likely not. So let's just go ahead and roll with wits. And we get a miss. Your investigation unnerves a dire threat or reveals an unwelcome truth that undermines your quest. Interesting. Oh, we have story close oracles. Involves a notable person. Interesting. I'm just going to make a note of this. Here, along with the artifact, we found a valuable mechanism that reveals a dire threat or unwelcome truth and involves a notable person. Okay, so we have no idea what this is. No idea at all. Let's see what kind of... It's a sacred remains? No. It's some sort of like... Yeah, it's a piece of some material. Maybe it looks like a handle. It's like a small thing fits in your hand. And yeah, Astrid gets like really bad vibes about this for some reason. You know, she can almost feel herself like, again, the bad, you know, the tingles in the spine. And as she's getting like more and more immersed, looking into the details drawn, like carved into this object, wondering what it could signify. Suddenly there's a loud bark, bark, and she looks up, and Lucas is up at the top of the hole saying, "I told you to keep your eyes wide open, kid." And he takes out a rope and throws it down. Astrid looks at this strange material and then puts it back in her backpack, hiding it away without saying a word. She climbs up the rope. Lucas gives her a hand, pulls her out, and says, "You gotta watch out, kid. Lots of traps set out around here by other adventure guild members. Useful for hunting, prey and beasts and the like. Come on. Let's go make camp. Oh, by the way, you have one smart dog there." And he kind of like pats Bandit on the head and begins to walk away. Bandit I don't know, wagging? No, it's not wagging, it's lolling his mouth, whatever the expression was. And suddenly tilts his head, looking at Astrid, who is still sort of feeling weird about this. She doesn't understand why she feels weird, why she feels there's something special about this like strange piece of object she found, and then she just sort of forces herself to calm down and says, "Hey, come on, Bandit, let's go." And they begin to walk away around the hole and head through this path in the mountain. We see them going away slowly, the camera going down, focusing on the edge of the hole, as we see another one of these little tiny spirits, a mountain spirit, boop, popping its head up, looking at us go. And all right, that is our session. Ooh, that was fun. When you end a significant session or chapter of play, reflect on the events of the game and identify any missed opportunities to mark progress. If you strengthened your ties to a connection, develop your relationship. If you moved forward on a quest, reach a milestone. All right, so let's go ahead and change the music. Let's put some peaceful music here. Let's put some peaceful mystical for the situation. So let's look at our quests. Restore Grandpa's farm, not yet. Delve into an abandoned mine, I would say not yet. The journey, we're advancing. Become a member of the Adventurers Guild, not yet. Any connections? Shopkeeper, blacksmith. Lucas, did we develop our relationship with Lucas? Leveraging their help in desperate circumstances? I'd say yes. I mean, we've shared a profound moment, standing with them against hardship, overcoming a test. I mean, I think we're traveling with them, and this whole situation definitely marks progress in our relationship. If there is a quest, connection, or other situation you would like to focus in the next session, make note of it. Take +1 momentum. Yeah, we definitely want to focus on all of this. We definitely want to focus on Lucas, on the Adventurers Guild, on the mine. All of this is lots of fun. So yeah, let's go ahead and mark +1 momentum. And now let's do this. Let us roll on this table. Influential character or faction is introduced or given new detail. Influential character or faction. Interesting. So let's go ahead and roll here. A roll. No, let's roll again. Not an AI. Lawkeeper. Leader. Okay, okay. I have a scene. I have a scene in my head. Let's go ahead and change the music. Let's go with tavern. Why not? Yeah. No, that's too taverny. Too taverny. Snowed in. Yes, that one's perfect. So we're in the bar of the town, the tavern. You know, there's people eating, everyone. It's the same time while Astrid and Lucas are setting camp. We're in the town tavern, the restaurant of the town, and we can see Venri. And Venri is eating, you know, and he's talking to someone, and he's basically saying, yes, I mean, it's all very well and nice that the granddaughter is back and the farm is slowly working its way, but we have to think about progress for this town, you know, the benefit of everyone involved, not just this old farm. We need to think about the future. Do you know what I mean? And then the camera turns and we see the mayor of the town and Doran. And the first look is well equipped. Okay. Disposition is threatening. Ooh. And the reveal aspect is conceited. And yes, Doran, the mayor, is very much a conceited mayor. Probably son of the old mayor, inherited it, the title or whatever, and is very much that kind of person, as we know. And he looks at Venri and says, yes, of course. Of course I know all of this, he says. And it's like, yes, we'll give the girls some time, you know, just, we'll what's the word? Well, we'll entertain her notions, but you work on all the paperwork. You'll have my support. The town's farms, you know, this town subsists on other things now. We don't... you have my full support on the project, Venri. You move on with that. You know, he's like stuffing his face with food, and Venri is doing that evil villain smile as this is happening. And that is the session. And take another +1 momentum. And yeah, that is it. So let's go ahead and first of all, I'd like to... That's our episode. That was lots of fun. I hope you enjoyed it too. I'd like to thank everyone that's watching the show. Sorry for the big delay in episodes. I will try to reduce that. I'd like to thank Sean Tompkins for making this amazing game, Mihail for the logos and stuff, Ben Stroud for the amazing Iron Sword module, along with everyone else that's worked on it, Ian Fisher for the amazing music that I use in every episode, and ConcernedApe for making Stardew Valley, which is just such a beautiful game. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe, share it, tell your friends, and I will see you in the next episode of Ironhome. Goodbye.